Today we have to talk about Hyperliquid. As you guys can see, Hyperliquid is up again 14% in the last 24 hours, sitting at $62.78. So Hyperliquid's doing pretty good, $1.1 billion in 24-hour trading volume. So that's super good as well. 14% up in the last 24 hours, 44% in the last 7 days. So Hyperliquid is doing extremely well. I made a video 2 days ago on Hyperliquid talking about how it's about to have a pullback and then possibly continue that uptrend. And that's exactly what's happening right now. So I want to talk about what I foresee next here with Hyperliquid. So shout out to you guys. Shout out to all the members of the channel, and let's get straight into it. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. But like I was saying here before with Hyperliquid, we had that pullback here. I was talking about this in my video. I was like, guys, don't get trapped. This thing probably got to pull back one more time. And it almost pulled back to the 50-day moving average. I thought it would pull all the way back to the 50-day, but it got halfway there. So it didn't exactly 100% do what I thought it would, because it only got halfway back down to the 50-day moving average. So that's one thing that happened. And also go ahead and hit that join button, become a member of the channel. If you guys want to go ahead and suggest me to go over any crypto project, you can have me go over anything, you know, as long as it's not a low cap scam coin. All you got to do is join, become a member. It's only $9.99 per month. And then leave a comment on any one of my videos saying, hey, go over this, go over that. And it can help out a lot. All right. So anyways, looking at the prices here in Hyperliquid, I was talking about how the MACD here, how we were probably going to start creating a divergence, right? So if you look over here, what type of divergence do you see? Because when you look at this, you're seeing we have highs over here, and then we have a lower high here, and we're also creating higher highs now on the chart. So what type of divergence are we looking at? We're looking at bearish divergence, because we're having lower highs on the MACD while simultaneously having higher highs on the chart. So this is bearish for Hyperliquid, but it's bullish until you get that final lower high on the MACD, right? Until you get the final lower high on the MACD, it's bullish, because you got this one right here, right? And now we're printing out this one, but we're probably going to get a few more of these green candlesticks coming in, right? And it's probably going to stop somewhere around here. And then we're going to see that selling pressure coming in. And then we might see one more wave of buying pressure, or we might just see the dump there. All right. So what this is pretty much meaning is that we are going to push a little bit higher here. This is going to be a new high. I don't know if it's going to stop here or up here, but we're about to create a new high. And this new high is going to be probably the last high, right? So we're probably going to either create the last high here, or we're going to create the last high up here at our Fibonacci resistance at $78. So we're either targeting $78 or where we are now. So I think we're going to get more buying pressure and pushing it up a little bit more. I don't know if we'll get all the way up to $78, because when you look at the percent on trend exhaustion, you can see this thing is over exhausted, right? This buying pressure is over exhausted. Once it starts dumping, it's over. It's going to start selling off, right? So we got to make sure we get our new high even higher, right? We need Hyperliquid to pump hard all the way up to $78, but it might not get all the way up there. It's looking a little bit weak. This buying pressure right here is looking a little bit weak. So I would say be careful. We're either, we literally have two options inside of this. I know I already said it, but I'm going to reiterate this. We have two options. We either dump right now where we are now, or we hit that last pump up to $78 and then we dump. All right. So those are our two options right now. Pump or dump now, or pump up to $78 and then dump. So that's what we got to look at. Unfortunately, on the daily chart, we don't have much info here. But on the daily chart, it does look like it has enough strength to push up to $78 and possibly more. When you look at the MACD on the daily chart, that's a lot of buying pressure right there. It's a lot of buying pressure. So when I look at this daily chart, I can't help but to think, okay, we're building more bearish divergence, which means we can get an even higher high on the chart, right? Because we have to print out a lower high on the MACD for the daily chart. So if this is the case and we start seeing selling pressure here, then we're going to see another high right here. So $78 might not be the high that we're looking at for Hyperliquid. Hyperliquid could have a short squeeze getting all the way up to $100. So that's why I'm looking at this. It could have a short squeeze. We got to see what's happening. What happened before in Hyperliquid was this right here, which was also bearish divergence. So it switched from one bearish divergence immediately over to another bearish divergence. And this is what I'm talking about. Because if you look at this, what are we having? We're having higher or lower highs on the MACD. 1, 2, 3. It's usually third time's the charm before the last one. But when you look over here, what are you seeing? You're seeing higher highs on the charts because look, 1, 2, 3. You're seeing it creating these higher highs, right? So that was the other bearish divergence, and then it blew up and took off. And now we're creating another bearish divergence. So that's why I'm saying we're going to get a higher high, right? The real question is, do we stop now? Do we stop at $78? Do we stop at the resistance here at $98? Or do we stop all the way up here at $110 resistance on the Fibonacci retracement? So that's the main thing you have to look at and pay attention to. But yeah, Hyperliquid is inside of a very, very, very good space right now. A lot of people are paying attention to it. It has a lot of eyes on it. Even when you look at the 2-hour chart, you're still seeing the same thing, bearish divergence. You're still seeing the same thing of these higher lows here, are these lower highs here on the MACD. When you look at the bearish divergence for the 2-hour chart, right, we're still creating higher highs while simultaneously creating those higher, these lower highs here on our MACD. So this is very, very good, but it's still bearish divergence with a B. So it still means that we're going to top out eventually here and have a dump. So don't say I didn't warn you, but you know, we are bullish right now, but it can literally switch on the drop of a dime. So when it switches, you have to switch with it. It can switch bearish really quick here. So we gotta wait. Are we gonna come up to 78 and dump? Are we coming up to 98 and dumping? Or are we coming up to 110 and dumping? All right. So which one are we doing? All right. That's kind of how we're looking at it right now. But yeah, we're getting some selling pressure here on the 2-hour chart. So we could see some selling pressure coming in. So be aware of that. And then if we pull up the 1-hour chart here, we might see the same thing. We have the percent R trend exhaustion overbought, but remember it can stay overbought for an extended period of time like it did here. So you gotta stay wary of that. And we have like an extended buying period right here with a bunch of buying pressure, kind of like how we did back here. So this is also another bullish thing for Hyperliquid. But if we start to see that sell off right here, then we can start, and we kind of are seeing that, like we're seeing it curving up here at the top, indicating that it might be topped out for this push. So there's a possibility that we could even pull back here. But we did just now top out 3 times. So hopefully we don't have a scenario where we have like a bearish triple top, because that is a signal. You know, a bearish, I know we talk about bearish double top a lot, but it could be a bearish triple top. So we got to pay attention to that as well. All right. And I'm pretty sure we're probably going to start creating a particular pattern here. So you want it to be extremely careful, because we also do not want this to create something like a rising wedge, right? Because if this creates a rising wedge, that kind of seals the nail in the coffin, right? So you can also spin it this way and say, hey, we're in a rising wedge, right? You can also look at it from that perspective as well. And if you look at another project, if you look at other projects like Near Protocol was having kind of like the same thing. So we're seeing a lot of these projects are forming what looks to be a rising wedge. So you do have to be careful here. We'll see what comes next. But yeah, it is sending some mixed signals. So we're going to see if this is a rising wedge. We're going to see if our bearish divergence has topped out completely, because it does look a little bit exhausted here. So we're going to see if we have more buying pressure able to come in for our bearish divergence, so we can create another higher high and push past this rising wedge. But yeah, we'll see what happens here. Like I said before, we're either dumping now, or we're getting up to 78 and dumping, or we're getting up to 98 and dumping, or we're getting up to 110 and dumping. All right. So one of these levels is going to have a huge dump. So you just better be on the right side of that thing, right? So anyways, that's all I got for the charting. Now, let's talk about some user sentiment and look at what the people are talking about. So this guy, Eon, is saying Hype is honestly a pretty good short. So people are talking about shorting Hype right now. He said it's a pretty good short at $63 for a hedge. I think people are top longing and thinking they're safe because of negative funding, but not realizing it's mostly due to one man's position. Not a lot of people are short Hype right now. So that's true. A lot of people are long Hype right now. They're longing it right now. So I don't know if you want to short it at this point, but that's a huge risk. Now we are looking at a rising wedge, which again is a bearish signal. So you might be like, oh well, we're in a rising wedge. Yes, and we also do have bearish divergence, which is a bearish signal. But the question is, have we created the last higher high? Is this the last higher high for Hyperliquid? Like, right? Is this one the last higher high? Right? Because we had highs back here, right? We had highs down here, and then we had highs up here, and now we have a new higher high right here as well. So, the real question is this the last higher high, or is it going to dump and pull back again? So that's the real question that we need to have answered. All right, so that's what that guy is saying. He's saying, I'm not shorting, but I closed my longs here and watching. So yeah, he's not shorting, but he's telling you to short. That's pretty much what he's doing right there. And then this person is actually shorting. So he's showing his entry at $61.23. Wonder how that's doing him now that it's at $63. So we'll see. We'll see if he gets liquidated. His liquidation price is $68. So if it keeps going up, this fool, he's gonna get liquidated if it keeps getting up. His name's called Liquidity Doctor. So he obviously knows about his liquidation price. He has an 8x short on this. So we'll see if this gets up to $68 to see if this person gets liquidated. But he didn't put much money in it. All right. So moving on from this one, we have this one here. This person says, yesterday I already mentioned that Hype failed to break and hold above the previous all-time high. Instead of continuing higher, price created a new all-time high and then dropped immediately. But the important part is not just the drop. Price also broke below the previous higher low, which means the bullish structure started shifting bearish. And now if you look closely, the market is clearly forming a downtrend structure with lower highs and lower lows. At this moment, price is tapping into a strong supply zone. Remember, this person posted this. They posted this today. Actually, they posted it like 8 hours ago today. So we'll see what exactly happens with this. They're saying failed all-time high breakout. This is the setup for them. Simple, as they're saying. Failed all-time high breakout. Structure shifted from bullish to bearish. Lower high plus lower low formation. Supply zone reaction, bearish rejection, all that other stuff. And look, this is the chart that we were showing, but it ended up breaking past what he thought, right? So it ended up doing exactly what he thought it wouldn't do. It kept pushing. And this is why I say you got to be careful. You got to wait for confirmation if you're going to do a trade. This guy's getting eaten up on this trade. If he's doing this right now, he's getting eaten up because currently the price is sitting above this red area, which means it's above the supply zone that he mentioned. So that means it's bullish right now. So, you can't listen to everybody. You gotta have your own opinions here, but we're still in a rising wedge. So we could still take a dump right here. It's funny how we stopped right there at the top of the rising wedge. We can still take a dump here. And we still have bearish divergence. So we can also still possibly create another higher high, or this might be the last higher high and we might see that dump. So you got to be extremely, extremely careful. But yeah, this is all I got for you guys today. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe. Check out the link in the description for Chart Prime, best automated trading indicators out there. And go ahead and check out the link in the description for Avantisfy if you want to do some DeFi perps trading on the base network. Shout out to you guys, all that good stuff. And as always, I'll be back with another video.